Hey guys, it's Tyler. Catching up on a lot of video ideas I've been having that I just either haven't had time or haven't been in the right mindset to make recently. I think today I'm gonna tackle the topic of fun. Fun, it's a word that gets thrown around here and there, and very often it's used as a deflection, especially in the RPG community. But TT RPG community. Okay, I'm gonna drop that. Uh, but it's used in every community. The more I got to thinking about it, uh, I do historical European martial arts. If I start grilling an SCA guy on a technique, SCA guys, don't freak out yet. I like you guys. You guys do some great work when it's not with martial arts. When come over to our HEMA clubs. We don't bite. Just let Uh, and I'm not here to say all HEMA clubs are better than others. I don't want to make this an edition war. I don't want to make this any of that. But just give you some examples from my own life. Your mileage may vary. Go to SCA guys. I go, why are you hitting? Why are you just hitting each? You're supposed to be representing armored fighting, right? Yeah. Okay, so why are you just hitting each other with what are supposed to be simulating swords, but you're just whacking that guy in the helmet over and over again until he gives up? Yeah, that's not how armored fighting looked during any period in history. Um, and if that's not supposed to represent a sword, I can understand it a bit better. There's no safe way for us to represent, an armor defeating weapon without defeating the armor and therefore actually injuring and concussing our sparring partner. So I get that. And the gears start turning, and they go, well, look, man, it's just for fun, you're taking it too seriously. It's like, okay, all right, it's just for fun. RPG guys, hey, why are you asking out of character questions? This could be made better if you don't ask out of character questions, if you do, this, that, or the other thing, if ideally your game is interesting enough that your players don't feel the need to make out of character, jokes and stuff like that. That might be a sign that your game's not that well, it's just about us getting together and having fun on game night. Okay, okay. All right. I don't really like Borderlands that much. I don't think the game's that well designed. And it actually, in many ways, becomes worse when you play it with multiple people, but it's advertised as a co-op game. Oh, well, we're just hanging out with our friends having fun. Fun is a word that is uh it's not even beating a dead horse. They've taken that horse out back and shot it about 70 times. It's a deflection because one, nobody explains what fun is, and I thought I was gonna make this video a sort of autistic deep dive into what is fun. But Ian Bogost has already written a lot about what fun actually is in his books on game design. I recommend checking them out because there's a lot of crossover between. He touches on the crossover between writing and editing and game design. Uh, so that's sort of my wheelhouse. But go look at his stuff if you're interested on that. The too long didn't read is fun is not the thing that gives you instant dopamine response. People use scythes instead of mowers because it's fun. People make their pasta by hand because it's fun. People hand grind their coffee because hand grinders are cheaper, sure, but because it's fun. We do martial arts. We take injuries. We take, sweating in, 100-degree weather outside, getting all your clothes dirty and torn. And why do we do that? It's fun. But those things on the surface of it, they don't seem like fun activities. So there must be something deeper to fun than just hanging out with your friends. Consider consider if You would be having fun with the activity if your friends were not there. You can have fun with your friends regardless of what is happening. That's the most important thing I'm going to say this video. If you have friends with you, watching paint dry can be fun. Because that's kind of the point of having friends. So if you're collecting it, all the guys in your friend group, and gals if you're lucky, there's a couple of my actually it's pretty much 50-50 cut. Now that I think about it, woohoo! You can have fun just sitting around shooting shit, and that's what people are usually doing when they meet for these role-playing game, board game nights. They're just shooting the shit, and there happen to be an occasional die roll interrupting that, really. Is that fun? Is that more fun than if you had just, I don't know, done anything else? I was going to say board games, but literally it doesn't even need to be that. Would it be more fun if you hadn't just gotten everybody together to, I don't know, have a beer, have some snacks, just talk about how the week's been going, talk about, fucking whatever, because apparently that's what you want to talk about. So why hide it behind a tabletop RPG when you're not going to play the tabletop RPG? And I want to remove this deflection of, oh, we're just having fun. Are you, though? And if you are you having fun because you're playing a tabletop RPG, or are you having fun because you're with your friends? Consider that, because I do want you to enjoy things that you are spending hours of your life every week, maybe multiple times a week on, right? If not, there's a million other free hobbies out there. I think tabletop RPGs they're one of the things in the modern day that are an excuse for people to go over to their friend's house or to go to the game shop, and you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on, because a lot of modern board games are really expensive. They're way too expensive, especially if you're playing a war game where they're charging, to get started even in something like Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar, you're spending $300+ not even for a good army, just to start playing the game. I know they have their start playing boxes, but they're not 2,000 points, there's other hobbies that you can do. Find a show you guys all enjoy. Find find a cheaper board game out there. Find something like Mordheim, where all of the, it's out of print, so all of the stuff's online for free. Broheim.net, look it up. And, you can use any old miniatures you have. I know you got a bunch of D&D miniatures laying around. If you're just interested in the combat, killing monsters bits of it, you'd probably be more interested in a skirmish game. Maybe try running D&D as a skirmish game. That could be fun. Talk with your players about the rules of the game. What are they getting out of D&D? Because if the only thing they're getting out of your D&D sessions or any tabletop sessions, this mostly D&D players that are doing this, I see, but there's others too. Ask them, what are they getting out of it? If the thing that they answer is, oh, I get to hang out with you guys, stop fucking making them waste time building characters that they have no interest in. Stop making them waste time, scanning up and down, what's to them an Excel spreadsheet that has no bearing on anything interesting. Find other hobbies. This is, and if this sounds harsh, it's not intended to be. It's as a GM, I don't want you, if you're my friend, I don't want you coming to my table if you're just there because you're my friend. I don't need you to entertain me in that way, right? That or humor me in that way. Take a martial art. Martial arts are free. The good ones, anyways. You don't need to spend $100 a month on a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class and hundreds of dollars on gis and gloves and whatnot. You need a friend and some grass outside. That's all you need to start. Even with HEMA. You know, it's not all swords. Martial arts aren't your thing, you know? Again, there's a bunch of great free shows out there. There's a bunch of great free video games out there that are still, you know, couch co-op. But you know, maybe that's not your thing either. I can't tell you everything, you know, but I've given you 4 other options. And it's mostly older. It's mostly older people I'm noticing doing this. But I mean, the young people I know, they get really invested into tabletop RPGs, or they don't have any hobbies. That's just they get really invested into tabletop RPGs and they have other hobbies, or they just when people start deflecting to the fun argument, I think it's because when they look internally, they're realizing that they have spent their life investing into a single hobby that they don't actually enjoy that much in a vacuum. They don't enjoy that hobby in and of itself. And they've realized it's their only hobby. With some subsectors, maybe, you know, painting miniatures. Yeah, go over to your friend's house and paint miniatures with them. You know, you don't have to whip out the airbrush and gas everybody out. You know, maybe do your base coats with your airbrush or your rattle can, and then, you know, start painting by hand with everybody. That can be fun. But, you know, when you guys paint minis, do you just slap, you know, giant, thick, unthinned coat on it, call it a day, and your miniature looks like shit, but you go, oh, it doesn't, you know, I had fun painting it. No! You guys hold yourself to a higher standard when you're painting your miniatures. Because you respect the medium you're working with. You respect it as an art form. Imagine your tabletop sessions as somebody standing back and looking at your miniature when you're done with it. If it's got gunked up paint everywhere, you haven't trimmed off any of the nub marks, you haven't sanded down any of your casting flash if you're working on old pewter miniatures, the eyes are all crazy and totally uneven, you would say, hold on, I need to redo this. I need to go back and do a better job at this. You don't see people going, oh, well, I had fun. I don't anyways. If those people are out there, let me know. But it appears to exclusively be a deflection for when people know what they're doing is kind of shit. And, you know, don't. When you feel that need to deflect, you know, dig deep. It's okay. It's okay to go to a new hobby. There's a bunch out there. There's more out there now than there maybe have ever been. Right? And it's something that hits hard to me because I've noticed, you know, growing up and, you know, getting into my mid to late 20s now, people my age, you know, the internet has ruined them. They just don't have any hobbies. All they do is sit around and watch Netflix all day. And so for, I guess a lot of people, it's that tabletops are their only social connection with their friends, in person at least. Because, you know, you just can't hold on a conversation with anyone. Talk to a fucking 20-something person. Talk to an average 20-something person. See how long they can hold a conversation for on anything, really. I'm getting really rambly now. Because, you know, this is, it's just a conundrum, you know, and it makes me sad. So yeah, consider if you truly are having fun with something, or if you're like Stockholm syndroming yourself into things. Like, yes, I do this because it's fun. I do that, but you see them freeze up. You see them freeze up, and then not answer the actual question they're asked, and then go, well, it's just fun because there's that second, and maybe I'm looking into it too much, but I think the gears are turning and they're realizing, oh shit, yeah, this isn't good. Let me know your thoughts. Little rambly. Next video I'm gonna make right after this one, and hopefully it'll be more focused. See ya.